Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to S for Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out an album from an act named Messiah'el Bey titled Jazz Spells Fame. And if we switch over to here, we can see that a lot of these tracks actually feature Ilya Veletsky, I think, who has worked with Messiah'el Bey before, as I understand, on previous releases. A lot of these tracks are in combination between the two, so that's awesome. But we've got 8 songs here, 25 minutes. That's a good length for an album. Got a fair bit of love for these tracks already, which is awesome as well. We're going to listen through each of these tracks from start to finish. Hear what we think. Let's go. How do I describe this so far? There's a weird mysterious Alice in Wonderlands kind of feel with the TikTok melodies going on there. Oh, we've got some interesting pan drums there, and I know I've just had some bass come in, that sub bass there, which is good. Oh, I'm liking the swishiness of that drum kit. I'm liking how it rolls really well with the 8th note groove we had. There was some 16ths to contrast a little bit. Phoenix. You know, obviously we've got to focus on the jazz element of here, but this is sort of kind of a little bit psychedelic, a little bit trippy. Yeah, I'm kind of digging the reverb tails and the wispiness of the entire atmosphere of the track so far. Really interesting modal voicing there for this sax solo that we've got so far. Working really well with the some electric keys there with the drums and some other elements there. Oh, the guitar is a welcome addition here as well. I like it. Yeah. No, this is about as jazzy as it gets. You've got some interesting concepts here that kind of wander in their own directions but end up coming back into each other. I like when the passages resolve themselves fairly well. Yeah, the bum 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 kind of sounds like we're walking up a staircase, not really sure where it's headed. It's interesting having the guitar on the left and the saxophone in the center. I'm not used to having those two lead elements at the same time. I know it's not exclusively sort of soloing on the left side. There's some arpeggiated and sort of chordal elements, but at the same time, it's like, what do you pay attention to? Do you pay attention to that, or do you pay attention to that? I've got the cymbals on the right, so this is a panning decision in the mix. Those hand drums are sensational. I'm liking the additional bit of coloration and dynamic range that brings to the mix. And I know by coloration, usually that's something harmonic or melodic, but what I mean is just that different texture, it kind of adds a little bit of warmth to it. Really, really splendid playing, actually, from Ilya Veletsky on this. It isn't necessarily an easy thing to sort of solo, or I'm not sure whether this is improvisation or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is a phenomenal saxophonist. But it's not easy to voice yourself over this kind of music. But he handles it really, really well. Cool. No, that was fun. No, we have musicians here who clearly know what they're doing. There is some avant. I wouldn't necessarily avant-garde. My brain's like it's avant-garde, but no. It's okay. You don't necessarily have to have all the notes playing within a safe harmony in order for it to sound good, or for it to necessarily even be progressive. It's Phoenix. What I want to say about Phoenix is the first track. I like the journey that we went on. It's a cool first impression. It establishes the strengths of the musicianship and the compositional skills of the artists involved really well. Clearly they can play. Like given that some parts were kind of, I wasn't necessarily sure where we were going with some of the passages. They managed to find their way, and I liked I liked where we went with that. I'm not sure if the rest of the album is going to be like this, but I wouldn't necessarily be upset if it was. Now we got a Said or Sade said so, either of the two. Cool. I thought we were gonna go for a faster vibe than this for a second with the rhythms and the grooves, but no. We're keeping it laid back. We're keeping it chill. It's cool. Chord note groove there. 2, 3, 4. The guitar is complementing the brass really well here. Ooh, that's some complicated guitar riffage right now. I don't know if you could hear that little melody session that we had there. That was some intricate playing. Gotta give props to musicians involved, man. Solid fill going into this. We are into section B, it seems. Oh, we had some major tonality there. We rose above the clouds for a little bit. Oh, that higher range there. It's sensational. Okay, we have these reverb delay tails in here where things become a little bit like a hornet's nest. Not necessarily in a bad way, but there's just so much stuff occurring. It swirls around in the mix. Chord note groove is still consistent. The piano dances on top. Yeah, is there some vocal chops or another kind of woodwind instrument there? There's always sub voices in there that are layered into the background, and it's this really intricate tapestry that we're being introduced to at the moment. Again, this is not your typical 4-chord progression that you get a lot of music. This is the good stuff. Not to say that you can't make a good song with 4 chords. It's nice to be, given something as a listener where you can kind of peel it apart and there's multiple layers to it, You don't just eat it and you taste it and then it's gone, You can absorb it slowly. Swing groove on the hats or the... Lovely dynamic range with these slide guitars here. Wouldn't have expected slide guitars, but then again, I think we've established it. You never should know what quite to expect, I'm liking the funkiness of this bass line here. It's a nice escape from what we had with the guitars previously. It's nice contrast. There's these clearly established and distinct sections within the piece that help illustrate the journey that the musicians involved are trying to perform and communicate. And I think that in place of someone literally telling you a story or singing a story to you, I think that's what you need. I haven't really heard anything like this, to be honest. Kind of sounds like a music. It sounds like a music box at the end. The boom, 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 but and the other things fading out there. It, Sade or Sad Said So went by so quickly. That's a testament to the musicianship on display here. There are 1,000,001 ways you can screw up a composition or an orchestration with that many different inputs and ingredients, but they mixed it well and it works. We got the 6-spot blues next with Franco Quadroni.
Winston! Winston! You got another woman in our bed? Oh my God! I want you and that robot out of my house or I'm going to string you up really good.
But I have feelings too, and a story to tell.
Interesting premise established at the start. Given the last 2 tracks have been purely instrumental, I wasn't expecting there to be Foley or like a story I said at the beginning, but it's a nice way of changing up. Well done, Messiah'el Bey and Ilya Valetsky. And Franco Quadroni. I'm assuming there might be some singing in this one potentially. I could be wrong. You got the brass coming in then, slowly and steadily developing layers, bringing it up. There is a dissonance with some of the elements of this mix that I think is deliberate. It kind of sounds like an LP that's slightly warped. Good vibrations though, right? And we got the 6-spot blues and See Me Gonna Work coming in with those vocals. Still leaves it a little bit open, doesn't it? You're like, what exactly is the story that the 6-spot is going to tell? It's kind of a ballsy move, having it as an instrumental after that, because you're like, whoa, hang on, no, tell me more, right? There's so much space in the mix for the trumpet we got here. By the way, I'm aware that my brain is like, I may have called a saxophone a trumpet a saxophone before. I have the feeling that I thought I heard a saxophone when it was actually a trumpet, or maybe it was a saxophone. Yeah, just a heads up in case you're like, whoa, this dude has no idea what he's talking about. I'm aware that sometimes I know that they have distinct timbres and distinct sounds. It's just sometimes my brain says the wrong word. But just a disclaimer that I'm aware that I might have goofed that. See what I mean? There's like an uncertainty. It's almost like the robot is like unsure if they really should be working, you know? Oh, is there a filter or something? Did they deliberately turned it down? Is the focus meant to be on the hand drums then? I'm liking the strings that we got with the brass here. It's a nice combination of elements. Ooh, solo section. Or maybe not. We just wanted to do an ascending melody there just to kind of bring in the next half. I wonder if they, when they make those solos, whether they're trying to tell a story through it, or whether they want to sort of color it in a certain way and add a little bit of extra oomph and a different style or something like that, you know.
Don't leave me hanging all alone. Don't leave me hanging all alone. Hey, don't leave me hanging all alone.
It's nice to have development with the story of the
Don't leave me
vocals.
hanging all alone.
I love repeating these melodies here. Works really well with the rest of the instruments, actually. Distinct.
Hanging all alone. Don't leave me hanging all alone.
It's a very sassy solo. Got lots of vibratos and cheeky bends and stuff like that. Maybe even some accidentals in there. Cool, but I enjoyed it though. Yeah, it was welcome. It was a welcome addition to have those vocals in there. I'm really glad that we did, because as much as it is nice to listen to talented, skilled, experienced musicians and songwriters, producers do their best thing, you know, it can be also good to just something different, like the vocals, you know, to show the different elements of them, the facets they have for further collaborations, etc. That one, I did enjoy that one. I wonder what Suddenly Janet's Ode is going to be like. Piano and guitar? Okay. Got some open hi-hats in there. 60 no groove on the cymbals though, man. Some dissonance in those triads on the piano. Does sound kind of abrupt, doesn't it, considering the suddenly part of Janet's Ode? Oh, with some breakbeats on the drums. I dig that. Works well. Direct contrast. Huge tails on the reverb with those instruments. It's like different people trying to have a conversation at the same time. Well, there's a really nice glisteny chorus going on there with the guitars. It's a nice little bit of a little extra layer of paint there. Didn't really necessarily need to be there, but I'm welcoming it regardless. It was good to have that energy level shift a little bit here at the halfway point. Even removing the bass element, the low to sub frequencies of a song you're writing just after a big oomph effort like we had before is instant change, and it can be very therapeutic and welcoming for the listener. Sensational tremolo picking there. Oh, we're going from left to right and right to left in the stereo panning. That's cool. Nice bit of automation there. Yeah, that is most definitely a saxophone right there. That saxophone is being played, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm not sure what Suddenly Janet's Ode is about. The Sexbot Blues made a little more sense because my understanding of it was that it was about a sexbot that's like, yo, don't kill me. I have feelings too. Let me sort of hear myself out. Suddenly Janet's Ode, including Franco Quadroni. We're at the halfway point of this record. It's been a heck of a journey so far, but I've enjoyed my time with it. We got Frida Kahlo's Unfinished Song. Interesting tone of those drums. Oh, we're going to the halftime after that. Cool. Nice way to change things up when we get into the strumps. Okay, I know we've just gotten to a point of change, and I was about to say, when is it going to change there? You know, that theme with the rhythm playing on the guitar was fairly kind of in your face and exactly where you needed that to be. Oh, okay. B section. Lots of articulate little mutes there. It's worth noting that this is Messiah'el Bey by themselves. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to go back to what we had before. It's great. It's a nice round, ABA structure to this song. The drums are phenomenal. The instrumentalism on display here is high level stuff. Like it's professional. It's all sounding very professional in terms of the performance itself. The way that you can tell a track's mastered correctly is when you listen to those crashes and there's no pumping. The crashes stay their same level the whole damn time. Really great work. No idea who Frida Kahlo is though. Frida Kahlo, hang on. Oh, Magdalena Carmen Frida Kahlo y Calderon was a Mexican painter known for many portraits, self-portraits, and works inspired by the nature and artifacts of Mexico. Cool. We figured it out. Cool. Like, don't get me wrong, the name was kind of familiar, but I wasn't completely sure. Again, that groove is consistent. 1, 2, digga 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 with the 16ths on the offside. And you got these marimbas or It's a great addition color-wise to it, eh? In that mid to high range. Fits in well with the drums. No complaints, we're gradually simmering it down a little bit. Gradually simmering it down. We're not rushing to the finish line, but we get there in time. We do it respectfully. I enjoy the fact that we are making music about what we want to make music about. I haven't necessarily seen a consistent theme so far throughout these tracks. A lot of the times that can come from the lyrics, of course, but these appear to be individual concepts that Messiah'el Bey is enjoying and is releasing, and I like the the collective amount of them. I like them as a whole so far. They've been great. Ilya Valetsky's back for Brooklyn Day. Those hip hop drums? That's interesting. Those claps, dude. Those claps are they're crystal clear, ain't they? Ooh. We are running through some of these harmonies, aren't they? These corpus chords. We've got a lot of extended harmonies with this album so far. Oh, funky. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, lovely transition there. Smooth as heck. Roll some chromaticism there, fit well into that. Boom. Yeah, it was an E flat minor 7, wasn't it? That's a gorgeous chord there, right? Yep. We got that brass filtered in the background. It's a shame, but I suppose sonically it makes a lot of sense. It does contrast well with the clarity of the previous part we had. Yeah, that percussion is scintillating, dude. Along with the tension created by those really high piano parts. And the flurry going on with the rest of the elements. And then as soon as I say that, everything calms down. Oh, there's some really pretty sounds within this part with some of those really cute synths. A portamento on those synths is beautiful, eh? So slick. We've got Nuestra Señora de la Santa Muerte. Yeah, Nuestra Señora. Sorry, if I didn't say it before, Nuestra Señora de la Santa Muerte. Don't know why I said Señora. Did I say? I don't know. Okay. It's got some trap elements in here. With a really gentle string section. This is Messiah'el Bey going solo again. I really enjoy that. Bow. I like the way it didn't just go bow. It went bow. Slow. That slow release there is gorgeous. It's a nice kind of. It's a weird. I wouldn't say anchor because it's so high, but I suppose it is helping to give the other things context. It's really fantastic how this type of beat, but there's but you know how they can work with lots of different other genres of music. I hear a lot of them in a few key types of music, a lot of that kind of drum beat in a few key types, a lot of that kind of sound of drum, but you can put it into lots of other situations where it can work. Is there an oscillation on that synth there? 16th note oscillation? That wah 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 wah. Oh, and we just got this shimmery There's a I don't know how to describe the tone of those cymbals. This is a gorgeous way to end the track, though, eh? Nuestra Señora de la Santa Muerte. What do we got next? What do we got next? We've got Tomorrow Never Knows, as I understand it. Wait, before we go on to Tomorrow Never Knows, I should probably quickly talk about Nuestra Señora de la Santa Muerte. I think after what we've had so far, this track sounds great, but I'm sort of used to the complexity arrangements, the shifts, the intros. It's like when you hear the first few tracks of a musician, they sound great. You kind of feel safe. You don't necessarily listen to the first track and then all the rest are good, or even the second. When you're at that 3 to 4 track mark and each of them have sounded really great, you feel safer not being as, you don't feel like it's suddenly going to have any sort of major weakness or anything like that. It would have been cool to have been a fly on the wall when these people were writing these songs, actually. But we've got Tomorrow Never Knows by Messiah'el Bey and Limnetic. Yeah, actually, before we go on to this, just getting back to this, I want to sort of say, like, that oscillating synth that I picked up in some of those higher sort of notes that we wanted to sort of give the rest context. It's little things like that that illustrate that we're not dealing with your someone who's like new to the game or even like got a bit of skin under there, bit of skin in the game. We got someone who is thoroughly confident in their own musical abilities, knows how to get the most out of the others that they perform with. Messiah'el Bey is basically the total package. It's great that we did occasionally have vocals like in the 6-spot blues, but at the same time they can handle themselves instrumentally as well. So this is the last track for today, for Jazz Spells Fame. Okay, that was a slick little sending transition there. Yep, got no real complaints here. We've got this main theme. It's being looped, some vocal. Oh. And see, that's the beauty of it. As soon as I say it's being looped, I'm happy with it. There's change. That's called Murphy's Law, I think. Yeah, we got some harmonic and melodic minors here going on here. Or maybe they're naturals and I'm just tripping. Hey, we got the saxophone coming back in. It does have a place in the mix. I'm glad that we had the saxophone here to have a different voice, something fresh, despite the fact we've had so much so far. I'm nodding my head because it's groovy, man. No complaints about the rhythms involved. Clearly comfortable with our 8/16 triplets. I'm not really sure how you describe the chord progressions of. We're rolling around the boom. Yeah, E minor. Oh, what? Ooh, where are we going now? Oh, damn. What? We got those trashy drums now. What do we not have in this album by Messiah'el Bey? What do we not have? I'm liking this. I like we got a more of an airiness to this drum kit now. It's a nice change from what we had before. Again, development, clear sectioning of different parts. It feels elevated. It's kind of what you want as you're going through a track. I would say, is that a 2 or is it just revolving around the root note? Oh, fun. Yay, that's pretty. That's a guitar, isn't it? Yeah, how do you describe this album, eh? You know, like how do you describe an album like Jazz Spells Fame by Messiah'el Bey? You know, because this is the conclusion. I think usually I go through like the vocals, and then I go through the story, what the song's about, then actually the vocals, and then I go through like the structure and the instruments that helped along the way, and then we do the production, that kind of thing. What I think the album is about, I think purely that this album is a celebration of jazz. It's a celebration of the abilities of these musicians in their songwriting capacity. It's a clear indication that they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to this type of music, and they like to incorporate, you know, elements from different other genres, like the trap drums and some of the sort of synthy elements as well, some of the electro kind of stuff that came, you know, early 2010s and stuff like that, as well as some break beats in certain parts and some pop elements like in the Sex Pop Blues, maybe some dub in there as well. All sorts of different, and there's a bit of bluesy stuff as well with some of the bends and all that, and the guitar solos, classical elements, all sorts. You can't really pin this down to a select genre throughout the entirety of it. Again, it's a celebration of the abilities of the musicians involved. We had Messiah'el Bey, Ilya Veletsky, and Franco Quadroni. The three main ones that I can see that are involved here from Warlock Asylum Music. I really thoroughly enjoyed my time with this album. I didn't entirely understand what the songs were about, but I appreciated like the vocals when we did have them, like in the Sex Pop Blues. Fantastic singer, great texture to their voice. They sang some melodies there that they weren't super complex and like you know, like to go with a lot of the depth of some of the other orchestrations within this album. But I don't think that the melodies needed to be incredibly wild when you're trying to tell a story to a listener. You know, sometimes less is more, and I nailed it in regards to that. Otherwise, the other tracks were instrumental, and you know, the structuring of them, you had clear A-B sections, and some of them sounded like they were near through composed. But I always felt as if, regardless of whether they were through composed or they were more of a traditional, you know, as much as you can call a verse chorus and like an instrumental track, they all came back to the starting point and there was a new twist in the tale, if you know what I mean. It never felt random or like, you know, they were agitated or anything like that. It was a clear you know, like they knew exactly what they were doing with the way they structured the tracks and perform the instruments, blended musicianship there, clear understanding of how to get the most out of the instruments in regards to their dynamics, the voicings, the different techniques on display there. Phenomenal brass playing from Ilya Veletsky, and Messiah'el Bey, as I understand it, did the rest, which is a very, very impressive, so well done to Messiah'el Bey as well. And the production, recording, mixing, and mastering, you know, was just top tier stuff. I've got no complaints whatsoever with the production value of this album. It sounds like a professional release. I completely understand why they're getting some love. They deserve it. They deserve it. I really hope that Messiah'el Bey, Ilya Veletsky, Franco Quadroni are proud of themselves. I really hope that there can be further success found with this music. 8 really sensational tracks that showcase the best of Messiah'el Bey's capabilities and talents, and I think it's a really positive addition to his discography. But that is effectively my review of Messiah'el Bey's Jazz Spells Fame. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy, if you enjoyed this video, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and their Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe. Please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.